Hello everyone and welcome back to Local Liberty. This is Brian and Shane. We are back for another segment about a very important topic that requires a thorough, lengthy discussion. But we're just going to hit it briefly here, and that topic is jury nullification. I don't have a full-blown exploration of this going.
That'd be epic, Brian.
It's that important, but we'll definitely come back to it. Basically, jury nullification is the concept that a juror has the power and the right to judge both the facts of a case and the law involved in the case. And I recently in like beginning of the year, I sat through jury duty. Didn't actually get selected for a jury, but I went up to Danielson, where the Windham County or where our Supreme Court is, and sat in the crowd with everybody. Had to watch like 5 hours of the daytime television and the daytime news because you're just in a common room with the TV's blaring. And that was by far the worst part, being exposed to the TV for 5 hours.
The brutality.
Yes. But they may also make you watch all these instructional videos about what is jury duty, and it's a sacred duty, and it's great, it's wonderful, it's this one, and jury duty is a good thing, and it is very important, and I'll explain why a little bit later. But what is hammered home to you multiple times in the paperwork, in the video presentation, is you must judge the facts only, and you must interpret the law as the special person in a robe costume tells you to. You must interpret exactly as they say. And that is the part that is hammered home. That basically, even if you think the law is totally bogus, well, sorry, you gotta enforce the law. And that's completely wrong. Jurors are just plain misled and lied to. The whole point of a jury system is to judge both the facts and the law in a particular case. If all juries did was, just basically take every law and every word, then they'd be pointless. They'd just be, a judge is just as capable of looking at the facts. So the real protection, the real power of a jury is to say, in any given case, that no, the law is wrong, the law is immoral, and the jury can refuse to find a guilty verdict. Right,
with the jury, there's a value judgment at play that the judge theoretically is not supposed to have. Like if he's looking over the facts of the case, he might be more qualified than a jury to understand legalese and is this really a crime or not. But then the jury is also assessing, well, maybe it is a crime, maybe it isn't, but should it be a crime? Is this wrong morally? Did this person do something that deserves punishment now?
Yep, exactly. And those are the types of questions that you are very directly told not to ask yourself. So what does this mean? Basically, if you get selected for jury duty, you have the power to decide for yourself, to follow your own conscience. Should this person be punished for whatever crime that they are being held for or being accused of? And this jury duty, another thing you will not hear about in a courtroom is the very rich history that jury nullification has in our country. One of the best examples is this jury nullification was one of the ways that prohibition of alcohol got repealed in the 20s or the 30s when it was finally repealed. Was juries just said, no, we're not convicting some guy because he had a bottle of vodka. We're not convicting somebody because he was making moonshine. Like we're not convicting him. It wasn't wrong. We don't care what the law says. And that's such a powerful way for individuals to keep a state in check. Basically, a couple sayings I'll leave you with is, one is, there's no power that a judge has over a jury other than their own ignorance. In other words, you cannot be prosecuted, you cannot be punished for following your conscience while you're sitting on a jury. You won't be held in contempt, you'll be browbeaten, you'll be scowled at, you'll be intimidated, but you won't be punished. You can't be. Like, there's no power that a judge or a courtroom holds over a jury. They are an independent group. They're a bunch of individuals. They come together and they need to follow their own conscience. A couple of places we already hit on it. Where this is going to count, where it has already counted, is the war on drugs. Jury nullification has been taking bites out of that for a while, and it's going to continue to. And I think the war on guns is also a place where jury nullification has a role to play, especially in states like Connecticut. People are already getting pinched for things like having 11 bullets in a magazine versus 10, and or having a rifle in their house that they didn't sign off on all the paperwork for, and now they're a felon. I think jury nullification is going to have a role to play in getting people to getting laws like that overturned. And anything you want to add to this topic, Shane? That's it for me.
No, that you summed it up well. I mean, if you have someone they're on trial and they haven't hurt anyone, then they haven't committed a crime. The idea, the oxymoronic idea of victimless crime is just so ridiculous.
Remember our victimless crime handy dandy flowchart.
You're right. Check it out on YouTube. If they haven't hurt somebody, then why are they here? You may not like guns, but that private citizen in their home with that rifle that he didn't sign the paperwork on, I'm really gonna punish him now for that. He hasn't hurt anyone, hasn't done anything. The guy smoking weed in his house. I mean, what? No, those aren't crimes. And with jury nullification, I think if people are more aware of the role they play on a jury, that some of these laws, like you said, they're gonna be hard to enforce if people start just going, "Hey, I'm not voting guilty on this guy. I don't care."
Yep. That's right. Okay, thanks for listening, everybody. Again, I hope someday we'll follow up on this with a much more in-depth look. Do some research on your own about what jury nullification is.
And especially if you're going to be on a jury, take that role seriously. And remember, keep in mind, is this person that I'm judging, did he hurt anyone? The answer is no, then the law is irrelevant. Ignore the law, not guilty, have a nice day.
That's a good way to look at it. Thank you, Shane. All right. Anybody cares to look us up on find some of our older videos? YouTube is Local Liberty. Facebook is Local Liberty. 2 words, yes. And localliberty.org. And our email is localliberty.ct.
localliberty.ct@gmail.com.
I should know that. All right.
So much to keep track of.
Thank you for listening, everybody, and we'll see you again soon. Take care.